How's everyone doing? Staying alive for a Sunday after a 3-day con?
Yeah! Concert last night?
Oh yeah, that was a great concert. Give it up for this guy right here, DJ Tatsu. He's going to have a panel after this, so be sure to check it out. Great guy, great musician. So we are proposing to have a little talk about bronies and masculinity. It's a topic that comes up quite frequently, and so I was hoping to explore it a little bit today with you guys. On the left, we have DJ Tatsu, and this is Zach Larson, also known as FPS Equestria. Has a YouTube channel. He likes to shoot things up and blow them up. So, anyway, so masculinity. Where does it come from? How is it defined? We have these notions of what is masculine, but what exactly is it? From time to time, society to society, culture to culture, it's ingrained in different directions. It has different meanings to different people, and it's always changing. It slowly goes through time. So just what exactly is it? And since it is in different cultures and societies, our bronies then have a different connotation of masculine. And what is it? Do we need to live up to it? And so I was just hoping to explain a little bit. But first off, we have Zach Larson here. You can probably keep that. Does that work?
Way to spell my name wrong too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. God, where do I start?
Next slide.
Sure. Yeah, that's me being a tool, I suppose. Yeah, I'm really into firearms and stuff, hence, you know, FPS Equestria stuff that started after Saber Spark and Black Griffin did that pandemonium thing. I looked around on YouTube and I wanted to get like a little panda and like attach it to my face and run up to one of them. But yeah, and I noticed that nobody's done anything really with guns for the fandom or anything, you know. I just kind of wanted to do that, something a little fun like that, you know, just shoot different weapons, show how they work and stuff, and just do dumb stuff like blow up a computer. We did that, yeah. We threw it off a cliff and then just beat the crap out of it and then shot it and then blew it up.
So you have any other interesting hobbies?
Other hobbies, ponies.
Yeah. What drew you to the show? What drew you to the show?
What got me into this show? I was in college and it's just, you know, a night of boredom on YouTube, and just got into that weird part of YouTube, you know. You just you just go to different parts, and I saw this thing. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get to that picture in a second. Yeah, and I found this video. It was like a 10-minute loop of just Pinkie Pie bopping Fluttershy on the nose repeatedly. Just 10-minute loop of that, and I was like, you know, that's kind of awesome. So, and then I would start watching, and I was like, this is awesome too. And then, and I said, you know, so I'm a brony. I'll admit it. Yeah, I don't care. Anyways, my other hobbies in the craptacular winter this state has every year that seems to never end.
We're from Iowa. We feel.
You do?
Yeah.
The feels. I like to snowmobile a lot every year, except last year. Last year I just had enough. But yeah, the other picture is interesting when McDonald's started doing the My Little Pony toys. This guy here came to where I live, and we decided to go for a little adventure and try to acquire some of those ponies. And so yeah, that happened. We got some ponies.
I collected almost all of them except for Celestia.
I only got Rarity. I only got Rarity and Fluttershy. I couldn't get any of them of the other ones. But you know, that's the thing is like we tried for weeks just trying to get like at least a Luna or a vinyl scratch, but we get so many rarities and Fluttershies. Really? Man.
Yeah, we went to 6 or so McDonald's going around like, can I have your best pony? He's like, sir, which one's the best pony? He's like, well, which one do you think is the cutest pony? We have this purple one. Turned out to be Princess Luna. I just kind of pulled out my hair at that point. But yeah, Celestia is the only one we didn't find. It's a real bummer, but it was a great time. Zach, to you, what kind of defines masculinity?
Well, it'd be better if my microphone worked. Anyways. You can
Wait, does it work now?
I think
we're good?
Yeah, it works. Okay, say again. No, I got distracted. ADD.
So what exactly do you define masculinity? What is a masculine person?
That's a very good question, actually. It's not really about, like, muscles or anything. I think masculinity, it's to me, masculinity is just doing your own thing, not being afraid to be yourself, And, I'll admit to people, I'm a brony, I don't care. They say that's weird, I'll be like, well, deal with it. I don't care. And then, what?
Oh, if you want to keep.
Oh, okay, I'm done.
So yeah, strengthen the individual, being yourself, having courage to go through with your actions despite the world facing you. I mean, I think that is something that really defines someone as a masculine. Actually, finishing this panel and looking back on everything, I think that is actually the key strength. I mean, you're facing a lot of opposition, challenges, and being yourself, not conforming. I mean, it takes a lot of strength, and for a lot of people, they have to give up, but you guys stood through and kept with it. So a little bit about myself. I'm kind of one of the weird outliers there. This August, I'm going to Nebraska, and I'll be pursuing my cancer biology doctorate degree. And I do quite a few things. I've never been someone that says, oh, I have to do this or that. And so I've always kind of just picked up my own things. That's how I kind of ran into My Little Pony. So I've had all these weird hobbies out there. Some of them, I don't know if you call them masculine or whatnot, but I used to be an absolutely great water skier. This is kind of a crappy picture if you knew what you're looking at, but I got to a really good state. And your calluses would pretty much go every time. You'd have protecting equipment on. I had gloves there, but they'd heal over a day later. Is something pretty good. But yeah, I actually went to California twice for U.S. championships, 2003 and 2004. I'm probably one of the best skiers you guys are probably actually going to meet right in this room right here. I'm also a huge martial artist. My dad took me to Aikido when I was like in 3rd grade because I had a problem with keeping my hands to myself. I actually, there's a good story to that. So I played Zelda, The Legend of Ocarina, a little too much. It is a great game. And I kind of became like the little anti-bully on the playground. I would literally go after people. Like one kid said that the football people took their kids or their basketball. So I went down and just like bashing heads and then got in huge trouble for that. But so yeah, apparently I needed some discipline. So after a while, I ended up doing some more of the weapons instead. So I don't know, just having some film for my life, just bring it here. Apparently the video won't work. Oh, Homer. Oh, that was me when I was 18. It didn't work. Oh, shoot. Well, okay. It's an inverted draw, and it worked pretty good. I actually didn't think I'd do it. And if you watch my expression, I was like, oh, this is not going to work. Holy buckets, it's working. This one was a T-cut, and this guy here was explaining for like a good 5 minutes that, the target isn't going to hit back. It's a stationary opponent. It's not going to work. And so I ended up getting 4 cuts into the thing before it hit the ground. I'm really sad. This thing should work. That's heartbreaking. I do have some pictures, though. It's big into fighting. I absolutely have had a lot of great fun with that. This guy here always cuts for the leg, and I thought it was going for the leg, but it wasn't. But just lots of fun. Been to a lot of places. Anime Detour. You can normally check us out there. I'm also a pilot. Got my license when I was 19. It took me actually an extra year because I had to save up some money. Turn it up? Okay.
Thumbs up for that.
Oh. Love rock climbing too, motorcycling. I've gone to different rallies and meetups. This one was when I was going to Tomahawk with some other guys. It's my Honda Shadow Spirit right here. Absolutely great bike. And so, yeah, I absolutely love going to McDonald's. That was great. So what is masculinity to me? I asked myself this before even putting on the panel, and I came up with the question, or I came up with the answer. It kind of is around what JFK said. Ask not what you can do for your fellow, or ask not what your fellow man can do for you. Ask what you can do for your fellow man. And this is kind of from Zelda, where you go around helping as many people as you can. My father was the same way. He would never ask anything from anyone. He'd always just try helping the best as he could. So to me, masculinity is something completely different, and that's why Ponies can fit into it. It's about caring and understanding that there's things greater than yourself. You're giving, self-sacrificing, courageous, and being able to accept that there are costs, and to accomplish something, you need to sacrifice something. Anyways, what about you, Tatsu?
Hi, I'm DJ Tatsu. And I'm an alcoholic. Wrong panel, sorry. But I've been, when I started DJing, I was in the Coast Guard at the time. I was stationed in San Diego, California, in 2009. And I basically, like, hobbies of mine from the Coast Guard till now has always been like weightlifting, running, and like I was always on the Pacific Ocean. Like, I've been to like Alaska, and I've been to Canada, I've been to South America, I've been to Panama, I've been to Haiti, I've been to a lot of places within my 3 years, and like, I have a special defense, like national defense for the Coast Guard for the Haiti earthquake, or me and my crew at the Hamilton helped save 158 Haitians on the the Gulf of Mexico, and yeah, that was pretty harsh. It was a pretty harsh thing in 2010. Let's see, what else did I do in the Coast Guard? I helped stop $2.2 million worth of cocaine in 2010, and let's see. Other than that, like we just transferred boats, and then we didn't get it. I mean, we transferred boats and we didn't really get anything else, and that's when I left. But after that, it's always just been, hey, I usually just work out. I listen to music. I watch anime, and certain types of anime, But how I got into the pony fandom was just like, I was just hanging out with one of my good friends in Columbus, and he was just like, "Dude, let's watch Ponies." Just like, no, seriously, just like, no, dude, let's watch Ponies. Said, screw it, I don't have anything else to do. Let's watch it. And the first episode I watched was the Discord episode, the two-parter, and I was just like, is every episode like this? And then it was just like, no, it's so good. Do you want to watch another one? It's like, hell yeah, I want to watch another one. And so at the end of the night, we watched like 4 hours worth of Ponies of season 2. I was just like, this is the greatest discovery. I've never thought I was going to enjoy so much. And like, like every Saturday, like I even called my cable provider to get the hub. And it was at the time, it cost me like an extra $150. It was like, screw it, the season finale is coming up. Worth it. Yeah. And it was so worth it. It was the season 2 finale, by the way, and that was so worth it. But then season 3 came back, and I told him, I'll just watch it on YouTube. But how I came into the community of the pony fandom was, I don't know if anybody's been to Canterlot Gardens in 2012. Has anybody heard of it? Heard of it? Okay. Yeah, okay. But the con-chair of that con came to me. That picture right there is I was DJing for a rave fashion show at a anime con called Matsuri Con in Columbus, Ohio, and the con-chair just came to me and was like, "Hey, I noticed that you're wearing some pony stuff on you, like you're wearing a pony belt. Would you like to spin at my convention?" It was like, "What kind of convention is it?" It's like, "It's a pony con." And I was like, "It's a what?" "It's a pony convention." And it was like, "Wait, they have conventions for that now?" It was like, "Yeah, would you like to spin for it?" It's like, "Absolutely, I'll spin for it. Absolutely, I'll do it." And then I started with the yellow helmet. Everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" He's starting up for Silverhound. And I just I got a following from that. And from there, I've been to Chicago, I've been to LA, I've been to New York City, I've been to all these places in the country. And I just hit international last year for going to Canada, Vancouver. And then this year, I'm supposed to be playing in Hamburg, Germany for a convention there. Well, no, it's not really a convention. It's more like a Brony concert in Hamburg, Germany, called LunaFest. Yeah, and I will be there for the day. I think I'm supposed to be headlining that, but still, though, what does it mean to be masculine? I think the thing that I've known as being masculine is if you just don't care about what people think. I think that's pretty manly, because if you're the kind of, I've always said this to a lot of people, if you have the balls to wear a Rainbow Dash t-shirt in public, you have the balls to tell somebody to screw off if they don't like it, so and this whole viral video thing about us playing at Fiesta Equestria, and it was on the Huffington Post, and it was on TMZ and all these places all over the world, and saying look at all these guys performing at a Brony convention. Isn't that hilarious? And it's just no, dude. It was pretty awesome. I made $500 that day. I felt pretty damn good about it. I played a banging set. They want me next year. I got to play in Houston, Texas. It was a great thing. And people are saying oh, you're gay. Oh, you're so lame. You're a Brony. Blah blah blah. Just but what exactly do you do? Most of these people, some of them look like they don't leave their house. Some of them definitely don't get sunlight. But at least we're out here talking to you guys and sharing our love for ponies, and also, hey, lifting weights or something. We can do a couple days ago, I was doing bench press with a Japanese Twilight Sparkle shirt on, and I got stopped. Just are you a Brony? It's isn't it obvious? Yeah. It's that's kind of rad. That's kind of rad, dude. I've heard a lot about it. It's I've never thought that Bronies worked out. It's really, really, and exactly. That's what I'm trying to say is that Bronies are people too, and it doesn't matter if you are a Brony or a furry or a otaku, LGBT, a Republican, or even an Xbox gamer. The thing is that you stick up for what you like, and you basically have the balls to say, you know what, I like this, and you're not going to change that. I actually have a manager for DJing in the city of Indianapolis, and he thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. He's not a Brony per se, but he's saying the fact that you're a professional DJ and you're entertaining these types of people that no one seems to like is incredibly cool to me, because no DJ in this company would do the things that you do, and I respect that. He tells me all the time, just we watch anime together, and I invited him to my house to watch Akira for the very first time, and his name is DJ Iron Lion, by the way. He's you can look him up on SoundCloud, and he's it's part of a Studio 77, which is the company that I work for, and when that viral video came out, a lot of DJs were hating on me at the time. Just like, oh my God, that's CJ Tetsuo from Indianapolis. Let's laugh at him. And then my manager just comes in to one of the biggest promoters in Indianapolis, and he said, like, you know what? Tetsuo actually did a really amazing job. And the fact that you guys are sharing this just is so obvious that you guys are jealous. Because this guy has gotten more exposure in the past 2 days than you guys have gotten in the past 20 years. Thank you guys for showing how envious you are. And that's the thing, is that, like, just because I'm a brony doesn't mean that I'm not a man. Yeah. Because I mean, I pay my taxes. I'm an accountant, and I bought my own car and I pay my rent every month. You know, I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. You know, so if you do all those things and occasionally work out or occasionally do something really cool that other people do, I feel that you're man enough. You know. Like, if you lift weights, if you like motorcycles, if you like shooting guns like this guy, or even if you like, you know, skateboarding, that's pretty manly, I think. It's pretty dangerous. Free running, that's pretty manly. Name something else that's manly.
Martial arts.
Martial arts, that's pretty manly.
Shaving your face.
Shaving your face. Shaving your face. That is absolutely manly. And if it's with a rock. If you shave your face with a rock, you are the ultimate man. Wait, what's that? A dull rock. And you have to be on a stranded island when you do it. You have to be on a stranded island. Just you know, whenever you need to shave your face, just go to Hawaii or something. It's like, I'm going to go shave my face. I do it.
So do any of you guys in the audience have any ideas what constitutes as manly by any chance?
That guy.
To me, like when people say that...
Actually, come up here.
Yeah, we got a mic here if any of you guys want to...
There's a mic. If you got any... If you have something to say, just come up here. You know.
I think more of the fact that when people complain about how bronies or must be gay or must be some sort of special person because they like ponies, I tell them, why don't you tell people who fought for us in Afghanistan or in the Navy or Coast Guard that actually fought for us and who like My Little Pony, and see what happens when you tell them that.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you'll be down on the floor in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, that can never happen because, I don't know if you guys notice this, but people are stupid.
Very much so.
People are people are really stupid. When they say, like, hey, My Little Pony's for girls, why are you guys watching it? You know, like, if they actually watch it, they won't. The normal person will not express that they actually like the show. Like my Uncle Mike. I wouldn't say my Uncle Mike, but I will say that some of my close friends, like, they say, like, oh, I watched the show. It was cool.
And
it was really cool.
Consider masculine is that my grandfather's like 54, and he occasionally takes care of some of the grandkids, and some of them like My Little Pony. He even considered it sort of girlyish, but he actually kind of liked it. And he's usually in his old stuck ways, which is you have to be a man and you have to like manly things other than that. So my grandfather, who's 54, actually kind of likes My Little Pony.
You know, I actually...
By the way, that guy is not old. He's not an old person. He looks great. Yeah.
Oh,
in my day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually have a friend that I rock climb with, or a neighbor. He's 50-something, but we go to Taylor's Falls. He has a little cheerleader that he has on his carabiner. He's not a brony per se, but he definitely loves the show, and why wouldn't you? So, I mean, you don't have to be a brony per se to love the show. So anyways, get on the question of masculinity. What actually promotes these qualities that we consider masculine? Are they something that we're reared up with through society? More of the nurturing kind of side, you know, like a man must do this, what you see through television, through video games, through media, or is it nature? I mean, we're men, some of us, and we have different hormones. Our brains are technically wired different. We I don't believe men have progesterone and luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, other things like that. There is a huge difference. So what exactly gives rise to masculinity? And then again, what is masculinity? And Wikipedia, tells me that it's a set of qualities, characteristics, roles generally considered typical of or appropriate to a man. So what exactly gives these qualities or characteristics? And if you look through time and history, you'll find again and again that what it's considered as masculine changes. You see different gender roles occurring. You see people wearing dresses. And the Irish, I believe, still wear dresses.
Yeah, they're kilts. They're kilts.
But yeah, it changes all the time, and it's a moving target, and it's something that's kind of hard to change. What you may consider masculine now may not be considered masculine a little bit later. People with strong muscles aren't exactly considered masculine other times in history. It's a weird moving target, and should we even strive for that? Because if it's always changing, I mean, you could technically be more masculine than someone else is by future standards. And technically, I was looking around, there's something called modern masculinity, which is actually rejecting social ideas. And you're man enough to actually reject some of that. That's you standing your ground, proving your strength and merit. And so I thought that was quite interesting. That may mean that you guys are a little bit more masculine by modern standards. So.
Absolutely. Like that guy with Jesus sitting on a T-Rex, that is manly as hell.
Like a boss.
You know what? Show this. That is crazy.
All right. So if masculinity is always changing, then what exactly is tying this all together? I mean, there is a little bit of nature, different hormones, differences in the sexes. So what exactly is it? And so I kind of read a book. Okay, I read it really, really quickly. The library loaned it over. I had a day to skim it. But basically, it was a great book. It looked at different tribes and different cultural beginnings from like some of the hunter-gatherers or Normans. And basically, they said what's shared between them for masculine. And so I see a lot of this stuff actually still applying to today's societies, even though it may be Korean, which are now using like toymans or I'm not quite too sure on the term, but they still are definitely enriched in today's society. So, yeah, the book was by Thomas Gregor, an anthropologist. So I thought it was a good book. So in his book, he decides that there's about 3 common threads. The 3 P's, they're kind of like pillars. The idea is to protect. If a good male protects, procreates, and provides. Protecting can be anything from jumping into action or defining boundaries and guarding them. What typically goes on, the perfect way I can exemplify this is probably like a man standing in the doorway, protecting the inside of the house from the environment. Even today in society, you hear like a bump in the night, even in their gender, pretty neutral world. The man's still kind of expected to get up and see what's going on. Procreate, it's still definitely enriched in their society. And then provide, a good provider, you commonly hear, but the breadwinner is kind of definitely changing these days. But anyways, protection can be physical. Back in the old days, it was definitely the male's role, more or less. This isn't for every culture and society out there, but there are a few that don't even have ideas of masculinity, like that never actually occurred to them. But it's physical. Males have testosterone that does help boost muscles growth, and even basic tribes knew that a high females were the limiting factor in the reproduction rate. Us males could go off, but you need 9 months for a woman. So even basic Norman tribes, I think one of the greater evolution things that we overcame the Neanderthals was that we definitely had these roles played out. And apparently protection... Dang, you spell it? Yeah. Okay. It can even be protecting pride. You still see that today. I honestly really don't care if someone says anything bad, because I definitely have good enough self-esteem that I really don't care what you think. And honestly, I thought it was a little bit strange, but he said a public arena demonstrates one's fitness, so that you can have slug wrestling in the halls, or who saw it last night?
All right. Wrestling.
Right there, He's the other one.
Get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Metapod.
Yeah. Yeah. Slim Jims.
So males are kind of the more stronger ones due to nature, and they're also more expendable. So you definitely do see the more the protectorate role that males are going in first. Same goes in nature. You have like ducks that are colorful. You know, the male duck versus the female. You have red cardinals, but the female you can never find because they're blended in nature. The male is supposed to take the attention, the threat. And that's kind of the reason why. It's kind of funny. You actually do see this a lot. You think that your lunar princesses or celestial
Princesses.
The Prince-I.
Canadians.
But it's actually the males in this show that's actually doing the protecting. Celestia normally says, oh, go learn a lesson about friendship and write me a report. Of course, she's doing it to Twilight, but it's normally the men that are actually still there. But, procreation, a lot of people, like back in the days, viewed it differently. You can still definitely see the roots enwrenched in today's societies. But basically, the idea was to create a large, vigorous family. And this can, or at least in the old days, a man should provide and be able to protect. And then if a female sees that, then they'd be won over. But that kind of treats them like a prize to be won. And we're more kind of cultivated these days and civilized. And I don't know if that's really a true thing today, but we definitely see that the males still kind of, it's definitely valued among people who consider themselves masculine. But
oh, yeah. Because like what I've noticed is that overly masculine men, like they always have women beside them, and like that seems to create.
Sorry.
That seems to create a lot of saying like, oh man, that guy is such a man. Look at that hot chick that's right next to him. You know, like. Which is pretty cool.
And even talking to some of the girls here, they apparently say like guys just swarm them and ask to take pictures. So I definitely do know that's still something Bronies value. And the last one's
women? What? Well, of course, yeah. Everybody values women.
Yeah. The last one is provider, the P. Basically, it's taking, or it's being able to produce more than you're taking. Basically, it's not. So you're not a dependent. Basically, you're able to pull your own weight. You're creating with your own hands. It's kind of like your father always refusing to call a plumber. He must do it himself. And even though I'm saying provider, I actually saw a paper way back when I was like in 11th grade that for hunter-gatherers, it was actually the women and children actually pulling most of the calories and nutrition. They would go out, farm, or pick up veggies, nuts, other things. Men would go off hunting, but it was actually the women that had the staple of the diet. Still, males had the prize role of going out and do hunting. It's actually, today it may not seem so dangerous, but they had to go off far. They had to go kill things. There's wild coyotes, for here, but there's always dangers in the night. Or even if you're going out fishing the seas, there's still that danger role. And even being the active provider kind of shows that you're a good protector, you're a good kind of strong guy, and you're able to take risks and whatnot, which may be making the first move for procreation. Sorry, it's a weird word to even say these days, but yeah, it's just basically a lot in this book. There's a lot of different rituals, acts, basically showing that the man is now stepping up and providing instead of being dependent. So that's what the book says. I kind of agree with some of it I don't. What do you guys think? Do you think that still is a good standard for today's society? Do you guys, as Bronies, think that's still something that's true, or what's your thoughts?
What's your thought about modern masculinity? Come up here. You can do it. You can do it. He did it. We did it.
All right, so this question may be a bit controversial, but since when have Bronies ever shied away from controversy?
No, that's Howard Stern's fault. Yeah, he started this war. Yeah.
What would you say? What do you think about when with the 3 P's of masculinity in our
culture, there's a lot of different viewpoints and values and stuff. And what would you say to someone who criticizes this view as being too traditionalist or not progressive enough? Would you agree with them and say that masculinity has to progress beyond that? Or would you say that this is something that's fundamental to society and rooted in nature?
That is a really good question. It's so good. It's so good of a question. I don't really know how to answer that.
Big words confuse me.
So this is a lot of this book was basically based on a lot of the traditional stuff from, like I said, hunter-gatherers and Normans. And it's still interesting that you see the echoes in today's society, but today is definitely not like way back when. The fathers that are raising kids these days had working mothers now, and things are definitely changing. I don't exactly agree with 100% what he said, especially the procreation part. It's nothing wrong. I think just as masculinity, how we express these 3 Ps, I mean, they're going to be in different acts and whatnot. You see a lot of those same things, or you see the 3 Ps. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let me.
You guys can still go on.
So I definitely would be open to suggestions. I don't define these as masculine things to do. Like, I don't define them as the absolute. I think it's a good stab at a very good question. How much is nature part of our masculinity and how much is nurture? I don't know if we can ever truly tell unless you have something really cool, like some kid being raised up by bears, didn't know anything about nurture, just this bear man kid. That'd be awesome. But so yeah, I think it's always changing. This may be obsolete in 50 years. I'm not quite too sure, but yeah, I think that's this author took a good stab at something that was hard to define.
What's your question, man?
What I find a thing that's not very masculine is when people constantly make fun of the people who have like disorders, like mental disorders, physical disorders, and they keep making fun of them for it because they're too weak and stuff like that.
Well, let me tell you something about that. The people that do that are not human. Because the people that do that say they're men, they are more confused than all of us that they're making fun of. Because when somebody says like, "Oh, bronies are gay," or "Bronies are lame," or "They're just weak," they've never actually seen how strong the community is entirely. They've never. Oh, wow. Like when I see those kind of posts like on Tumblr and stuff, and it's just like, "You guys are destroying masculinity." Rah! They've never actually seen this guy or me or like most of the people that cosplay as Snowflake. These people are big. These people are big. And the one thing you don't want to do is piss us off. Like, so when people make fun of other people with disorders or with different likes, just realize that those people are bigger losers than the people that they're making fun of, and nobody deserves that. Absolutely no one. Anyone else? No? Thank you.
One of the things I always kind of see as leadership is the ability to pull yourselves up. But there's another type of leadership out there which basically tries kicking others down to make themselves look better. I think the terminology is, if you extinguish all the lights around you, your light does not shine any brighter. It's a disgusting thing to do, and you're not actually promoting yourself or making yourself better. And obviously, a candle metaphor is a candle metaphor, but you diminish your light greatly by doing such things.
And the interesting thing about all this is that I hate when big like big corporations or like media outputs do that. Like, for example, Fox News. Or the Mitt Romney channel. Another place that I just cannot stand is well, they're starting to fail at it pretty badly, is Kotaku. Does anybody read Kotaku? It's the gamer guide on Gawker. It's a Gawker site. So like what they do is that like whenever there is something related to video games and ponies or bronies, they secretly put sarcasm in it, and it's very negative. And I've seen this in every single Kotaku post that they do. And the thing is, they're starting to fail at it now because everybody's just saying like, Kotaku, please stop trying. Just stop. You know, and recently, I'm going to talk about the viral video again. Recently, I don't care how sarcastic it was, but we got mentioned by Beatport, which is kind of a big deal for electronic musicians and DJs, for them to basically say Houston threw a My Little Pony con that was off the charts, and they weren't negative about it at all. That's the surprising part. And like there was another article that I read about Penny Arcade. They made a article about brony shaming, and it was incredibly positive. I forgot what it was called, but it was on Penny Arcade, and it was written by the writers of Penny Arcade, and it was incredibly positive towards us. And they were basically saying, if this goes out for bronies and anyone else, if like it's the segregation towards fan bases is so stupid. That's what they talk about. It's like segregation towards fan bases or segregation towards cultures, you know. And they said something really funny inside the article. It's like, this kind of segregation is like a segregation towards black people and even blacker people, you know. And like, and I definitely recommend that you read it. It's a very positive outlook on our culture and other cultures that are related to us. And when I see these kind of negative articles from these big time outlets, I just think it's like they're not. I just feel that some of them are bronies, but they have to do it because of money, you know.
You have a question?
Not so much a question, just a comment. Not only is it like not masculine when you're making fun of somebody, but it's even more masculine when you're being made fun of, and instead of just getting pissed off at the person and beating the crap out of them, which I think a lot of people really could, because if you're just picking on somebody, you're probably pretty weak. But you being able to just turn around, walk away from that sort of a situation, that's more masculine than just about anything. So
yeah, it's always easier to kick dirt on someone, but having a little target on your back all the time is a different thing. And I actually think Grayson, that's kind of inspirational. What a great kid. I mean, the strength behind that to continue.
You're talking about the kid that couldn't wear a backpack to school. I thought that was incredibly disgusting. Incredibly disgusting that a school does not have a way to stop the bullying in its own school. That's like, when you say that kind of thing to a child, it means to say like, we failed. Sorry, you know, sorry. You know, so definitely. Yeah. He's
definitely someone I actually look up to. I know it's weird for a 24-year-old guy to look up to someone like that, but that's great strength and a great character right there.
I'm not sure who it was, but I was gonna say I agree with them that people who can stand there and get picked on and take it and be like, of course, my favorite one is Rainbow Dash or Rarity or Pinkie Pie, I think is perfect, because of the simple fact that you can not be afraid to be who you are. And I was disgusted when I heard about the kid who got beat to death with a baseball bat because he was wearing Brony merchandise. A kid that went to school, he was wearing a Brony shirt and had a Brony backpack, got beaten to death with a bat.
When did this happen?
Yeah. It was all over the news on the internet that a Brony kid got beaten.
What year?
Basically almost to death and got hospitalized.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about. He didn't die. We were just talking about him.
Are you thinking of Michael Bronies?
I'm not sure, but I heard it was all over the cross the internet.
What year was this?
I think it was just about a year or two back.
Jesus Christ.
I think that somebody who can do that is just very disgusting.
And the worst part is that there's just so many of them. You can't stop something like this, and it's crazy. But the real thing is that we can't stop something like this. But when it happens, step in as much as you can. Because like if I see that stuff happening, I don't care who it is, I will step in. Because it's not right. It's not right to be beaten up because you like a different TV show. That's mentally insane.
Protect.
Yeah. It's insane.
Well, and from a female point of view, you've got those men who think everything is for the men. And you've got the men who are like, girls don't play video games. Girls don't like superheroes. Girls don't like this kind of stuff. So we're also on the brunt end, and we'll look at these men who think, oh, we're tough, whatever. And they're not. They think that they're just the only ones who can do this thing. And we're also fighting for our own rights. So I like superheroes. I like Transformers. I like those kind of things as well. And I actually was really disgusted when I walked down the Nerf aisle and saw the pink and white Nerf guns that they're trying to put for little girls. It's like, no, just give us the black and orange ones, the blue and orange ones. Let us play with the men's toys and let the men play with the girls' toys. Who cares? There shouldn't be those stereotypes anymore.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we should do. Get rid of the stereotypes.
In hindsight, looking back on this, those 3 Ps, this was definitely the author's point of view, but I believe a good, strong individual, whoever they are, will protect, will provide, and will make good family relationships. That doesn't have to be a masculine thing. I personally aspire to, some of those values, but they aren't necessarily men that need to show these, and there's nothing wrong with females doing this. They're good values. I think everybody should definitely have them.
Absolutely.
Along with that marketing stuff for guys and for girls, don't you just love it when companies have like a second version of a product that's the exact same except for men, and it's blue this time, and also it costs $1 more?
Oh yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Does anybody remember back in the late 80s when the Game Boy came out and they made a Game Girl? What? It's the same one, but it's colored pink.
That was actually a thing.
Yeah, no, there was a purple one too. Like there was the Game Girl, and then what else? Man, I remember that there was this little voice recorder. I think they used it in Home Alone once, but it was a little voice recorder that had a microphone on it. And they made one for girls, too. It was like, but why did you have to make one for girls? It's just, anybody can use it. It's a voice recorder. It's a voice recorder.
If it's not pink, the girls can't use it.
Right? It doesn't make any sense why women have to pay $3 more when it's the same product when it's colored purple or pink or something. That's stupid. It's really dumb. Yeah.
It seems like this is almost turned into like a venting panel, but
it practically is.
What do you think? This is another more complicated question. Sorry for being up twice,
no, you're fine.
We got time to go.
What do you think about people who think that? What do you think of the idea that there is a distinction between a gender stereotype, which would be something that is just something that everyone assumes has to be true or has to be done for each gender has to do a different thing, and then a gender role, which is like an intrinsic either biological or social thing that someone identifies with. What do you think of that?
Yeah. This guy, do you go to college? No. You don't go to, how old are you? I'm
16.
Jesus Christ.
I study lots of... Hello? Okay. I study lots of philosophy, so...
I respect that. Give this guy a round of applause. Jesus. I'm 24 years old and I still don't know how to answer that.
I'm his cousin.
Congratulations.
I think if anything, a little, I don't know, 5-year-old child, the only thing he should have really nurtured in him is the hate for bedtimes. You know, anything else given to him is definitely something from his parents' media, something like that. We definitely, okay, there are differences in sex due to hormones and other things, but we definitely have we have the capacity to act rationally, mentally, and in the end, it really doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. These things exist. A lot of people are rooting for us that we can hopefully change some of these. I'm definitely hoping that we can overcome some of these, but definitely it's something that society is going to struggle with for a little bit more. And I'm definitely glad to see that the feminist movement has gone so far the way it has, and wish them the best of luck too to help continue.
By the way, Rainbow Dash is not my favorite.
Not your favorite?
No.
Who's your favorite?
You fool. My best pony, Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry, Rarity.
I was going to say, are you a little upset that Kim Kardashian got married? Not to your OC.
I'm a little upset that that's news. Yeah, like people are shooting themselves in the face in Pakistan for believing in a different god, but we've been finding out about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West being married for the past 3 days. So why is this news? Yeah, welcome to modern media. Modern America, yes.
America.
Pretty much be going on the whole. Pretty much going on for where you talk about changing the genders. Because I mean, the gender roles have kind of always been switched, and what's considered masculinity has been. I mean, kind of Nora said earlier, pink at one time, like in the late 1800s, that was a masculine kind of
that
color.
4 times today now.
But but it's one of the things they kind of push on there for. I mean, the one thing that in our generation, pink has been the girly color.
But really, it's
years ago,
it's just a color.
It's color, and that's the one thing. It's stuff like that changes. Yeah, stuff like that changes. So I mean, are we just more in the head of the curve in the change? And fortunately, when you're in the head of the curve, not the fun part.
Another thing about the game, in World War II, the United Kingdom experimented with different colors for hiding better at night, and pink was the best color.
Interesting.
All right, pink is best color.
Okay.
Long live Pinkie Pie.
That's why she has the night vision goggles. Too many pinkies.
Oh my god, that explains so much.
She's looking for her clones.
LOL, Splinter
Help
Cell
us
Pony.
all.
All right, what's up?
And with the change of genders thing, I mean, when I grew up in a military family, and I'm also being in the military myself. Women were not allowed. My grandmother was not allowed to ever be in the military because my grandfather told him no. Nowadays, I know more women in the military than men myself, and then my entire unit with the 391st and Dyess Air Force Base is mostly Bronies.
Really?
They're all men. Well, yeah. We're, like most of us are. There's like 2 women there, and being
Dyess?
yeah, Abilene and Dyess.
New best friends.
Well, I'm originally from Idaho, so Mountain Home. But yeah, I spent about 2 years in Dyess, so I know more. So then being shot down, I've been shot down a lot during basic for being a Brony. I've been shot down several times during Afghanistan, and I remember one time, like, one dude comes up to me and says that I'm being gay while I'm in full uniform as a master sergeant, you know, and me being 21 and a master sergeant is pretty high up. I mean,
yeah.
So
20.
And I'm not and you know, I'm not the kind of person to be like, oh, I'm going to yell at you while I'm in uniform, because I can't exactly do that.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I'm old enough, you know, I'm young enough to, you know, be secure with my masculinity, and I'm defending you, and for you to say that to me, but you have the problem to, you know, with what I want to do, you know, but I'm really excited knowing that the change of gender, there's equality and equality.
Yeah, and I know they're now starting to let females do like combat roles.
Oh yeah,
like infantry and stuff. I know they're. Yeah, I think it goes. Huh?
Oh, I heard that after that. With just
I know. Yeah, I don't know about the ranges. I know. Yeah, more and more women are allowed to do like combat roles nowadays, and I know like more and more female drill sergeants are starting to pop up, and they are ruthless. oh my God! I'd rather put up with an angry old infantry drill sergeant male than a female, because they are feisty. They will kill you.
My BM1 on my boat. She is a BM1, and she was a hard ass. She really was. She was the toughest person in our group, and like she didn't take crap from anyone. So it was like that just brings back memories for me, because like I haven't seen her in years, and if she's a brony, that's even better. If she likes ponies too, that's even better, because like she's really tough, hard as nails, but she's also really understanding, and she'll talk to you, and she'll definitely, you know, make you feel better about yourself and what you can do. And she's the strongest person that I knew in the military, and I really don't know what happened to her after she left her station. So if you're watching this, BM1 Young, I miss you. Bye.
Well, I had 2 TIs in basic. One of them was a woman, and one of them was a man. I was more scared to see, her name was Crenshaw. I was more scared to see Crenshaw come around that corner than I was than Crapshick. Because when Crapshick comes around, you're going to be... you're being instructed. If she comes around, you're in trouble. You know?
Yeah. Just a reminder, we have about 4 minutes. So this will be our last one. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that not only is the brony community as a whole kind of challenging what's considered masculine, what's a male or female role, but even in the show itself, you've got Discord becoming a princess. You've got some of the female ponies being way more badass than guys.
Oh yeah.
You've got the girls kicking ass day in and day out.
In fact, I find Twilight Sparkle pretty masculine.
She's the only pony to get like forced through a mountain.
Yeah.
By yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
that's
but
pretty
at
badass.
that point, our season 4 finale, that rivals DBZ. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I mean,
if nothing else, we've got DBZ and we've got frickin' ponies.
I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z too. I didn't have quite the intense loss of sanity that Jack's Blade had in the Bronies React. I mean, that was pretty spectacular. I lost my mind when I saw his reaction, but I kind of lost my mind when I saw that happen too.
Yeah. Frankly, with ponies, we managed to get the epic fight scene be as badass as they are in DBZ, and we did it in 2 episodes instead of an entire season of
yeah, screaming and stuff.
So you know, thinking for little girls, popping season 4 finale. What now?
Yeah. So
try telling me this is for little girls now.
Yeah.
Come on.
And what I think is great about this is not only is it for like showing like different masculinity, us Bronies promoting this and what we can do. But even for females out there who now see Mirror Mirror as a strong figure role for, empower a lot of other females in power, this is going to be a pretty good generation following us. And
That's the way to pave the future.
Absolutely. Wait, what?
He who leads the youth leads the future.
Oh. All right. We got about 2 minutes left. Oh, well, no, 1 minute left, actually.
All right. Thank you guys so very much for coming out here today.
Thank you guys so much. And also, I have a panel that starts right about. That's great. Now. This panel is just called the Tatsu panel. It's basically. All right, I'm going to be real. This is about anything. Seriously, it's my panel. I really want to talk about video games, to be honest. Yeah. But hang on. Don't get crazy here. So the reason why I want to talk about video games today is E3 is in 3 days. Yeah. So let's start off this confession. I want people to tell me their most anticipated thing for E3 this week. Come up here. Thank you so much. By the way, this is Brian King, and this is Jay.